If you have a small business, wouldn't it be neat if you could do 2 or 3 things at one time in an automated fashion without you having to do a thing and watch your Google rankings soar? Well, how to do that is coming up. Welcome to Job Tips, the career development channel. And developing a business is developing your career. To get ranked in Google, you have to fare well in their relevancy score. The relevancy score and other aspects of their algorithms have to do with how much your website is updated, how much activity is taking place by customers within your Google listing, how much is happening by you within your Google listing as far as are you updating things with pictures or different things about your Google listing, the general community involvement in your business, and those sorts of things. So there are ways of making all that happen at one time when you have a service company, especially the type of service company that takes your service to a customer's home. It can be gutter cleaners, pavement resealers, carpet cleaners, mobile barber shops that come to your home, dog groomers that come to your home, you name it. HVAC repair people, plumbers, electricians. The list goes on and on and on. Maid services, cleans, window washing companies, roofers, right? So here's the ideal situation. You as a small business with a small service company, and if you're not set up this way, I encourage you to do this. So follow me here. Have a scheduling software, and there are many of them. House Call Pro, Service Monster, Customer Factor, and there are others. That works in tandem with web providers, your website developers, who can develop an automatic process of asking your customer for reviews. This is not stacking the deck as far as only giving you 5-star good reviews. None of that stuff, because those kinds of shenanigans Google will pick up on and it will hurt your rankings. Okay? But watch this. Remember I said when there's an update to your website, Google likes that. When there's an update in one of the review platforms, even if it's Yelp or others, Google likes that. They can tell. If there's an update within Google, Google likes that. Okay? And you can make all this happen automated without you having to do anything after you've done the work. So, for example, you've got the scheduling software. You've done the work, or your technicians have done the work. At the end of the job, there is typically a way to indicate that the job has been finished when the customer is paid. So you click on an icon or a button that says job is done, whatever that looks like with that software. That automatically, when that's done, is tied to and linked to your website, because your web developer can make that happen. And within the website is that review request. Follow this now. So you hit job is done. Customer sees that. Automatically triggers a review request to come from your website developer. That goes to the customer via text or email or both. And it says something like, and you can help them wordsmith this, if you loved our services today, we'd be so honored if you would leave us a 5-star review on Google with some great commentary. Something like that. They then leave the review. Now watch what happens. The review goes to Google. Google says, hey, 5-star review, or 4, or 3, whatever. But there's activity going on. Google says, cool, let's bump up your ranking. But at the same time, that review is also populated on your website, because that's how you want your web developer to program it. Or if you can do that yourself, program it that way. So the review ends up on Google and on your website. So look what's happened. You have not physically had to do anything as far as getting the message to the customer. You may have mentioned it while you were there, or while your technicians were there to say, hey, it would be great if you leave us a review. But beyond that, you did nothing. They said, cool, let's do this. They go online, they type their 5-star review. They were wonderful. They were fantastic. They look like Greg Allen from Job Tips. Is that good or not? Don't know. They hit submit. It pops up on your website. It pops up on Google. Pops up on Google. Your website has more activity because it automatically makes a change on your website that helps your rankings. I should say your relevancy score, which eventually helps your rankings. At the same time, it popped up on Google, which helps your relevancy score, which helps your rankings. All this is designed to help your rankings on Google. So there you have it. You might be doing all this manually kind of now, but you can have all this automated. And if the web developer that you're using right now can't do that, you should find one that can. And there are a few of them out there. I won't give you names of them only because by the time you see this, things may have changed. And so I'm hesitant to give names of web developer companies. I'll give you one. One is Nice Job out of Canada. At the time of this recording, they do those kinds of website developments for the carpet cleaning industry and maybe others as well. But there are other web developers that do that sort of thing, regardless of the type of service company that you have. And as far as the software we talked about, as far as the scheduling software, I mentioned them already. They're Customer Factor, House Call Pro, Service Monster, and there are probably half a dozen of others. But they can probably all accommodate you. I know House Call Pro certainly can. They're based out of Southern California, I think out of San Diego. But they can work in tandem with these web developers. So all that happens automatically. And that lets you not have to worry about doing all that. It's so cool. I hope these tips have helped you a little bit. It's going to help your business grow. It'll certainly, I tell you what, your customers will love the professionalism that it tends to display, because a lot of service companies don't do that. They just don't. So this is something that can set you aside, regardless of the type of service industry that you are in, and it'll help your Google rankings, which is what you want. You want to get on the first page of Google and be the king of 5-star reviews, or the queen if you're a lady. I want to be respectful. Okay, be the king or queen of 5-star reviews. And that'll help your business tremendously. And I hope that it's the kind of business that you want to have.